really believe if the top 1% in our society, who's making the billions and billions of dollars, can suppress the middle class, and that would be us, and push us further down and create a bigger gap, and they can get more money while they're pushing us down, they would love to do that. And I'm going to prove that they want to do that in a minute, because that's what we're facing with right now. They're worth $35 billion. So you say, why would these guys get involved? Now, the guy picks up the phone. He don't even know he's talking to them. You can tell he don't know because he's talking to them. He says, this is David Koch. He's having a conversation. He's like, well, this is the guy that gave me $43,000. I owe him a conversation. And you all heard the conversation. So the irony of that is that you can buy your way into the ear of the government. You can dictate policy to them. More importantly, in that phone conversation, what was disturbing to me is I thought the public sector unions out there, the way they were demonstrating very professionally, they were acting like gentlemen, they weren't acting like thugs like people thought they would. They were not happy. When I say they, the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers, and the governor. So in that conversation, the governor made mention that, well, I thought about putting some plants in the crowd to cause some disturbances, because he wanted the unions to look bad. He was not happy that they were not looking bad. Anyway, it never did happen, but it was just a mindset. And at the conversation, the guy that was imitating David Koch said, you know, at the end of this year, when we take care of the unions, we're going to get together. I'm going to take you out to Cali, and we're going to have a good time. It's a quiet little way. He says, no problem, we'll do that. In other words, I owe you, I'll take care of it. So it's pretty scary when you think about, you know, that level of almost like corruption, what's going on, or deception. But I really wanted elected officials now, they're taking the marching orders of the conservative parties, conservative groups. Now what's funny is they complain about the unions, these conservative groups. These conservative groups, they are just like unions, but they got so much money that it's absolutely unbelievable. And let me give you a couple examples. When I go to political events, do a lot of lobbying, I work the circuit, I go, you know, I got to do what I got to do on behalf of my membership. So I'm at events, I'm in the rooms. I worked campaigns, and I worked campaigns with some very, very high-level people. And I happened to be driving around with some of these people, so I got to go into the CEO's offices. I got to go into the back room, and I was watching what was going on. And it's amazing. We spend out $500 to go to events, and we're in a room with 1,000 people, and you get to shake his hand and say hello. But these guys, they spend $25,000 and $50,000, and they go into a room with 1 or 2 people, and they tell them what they want them to do. Right-wing conservative groups, they say, we're nonpartisan, we're impartial, we're trying to tell the government how they should run good government. We give them advice, we create think tanks, and then they go through this thing and they put reports out, and they say, this is how you can save taxes, you need to go after the public sector employees, you need to go after their health benefits, their pensions, you know, you need to reform the Constitutional Convention. And at the end of the day, I go to these other political events, and now I go in a room, all these guys that are in these conservative groups that are making recommendations are supposed to be impartial. They're all in the room. So I go up there and say, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm here wearing a different hat today. I said, well, what hat are you wearing? Oh, I'm the CEO of this company. I said, oh, so on one hand, it's okay for you to come and lobby, be in a room shaking hands, trying to wheel and deal, but when you leave here tomorrow, you're going to go work with your conservative group and tell the government what you want them to do. I said, that's kind of hypocritical. And then when you all of a sudden start seeing these deals that are going on behind the scenes, you see the privatization going on, you see the Koch brothers in Wisconsin, who, like I said, $35 billion. They're basically in the oil business, they're in they got power plants, they're making buku money. They're not happy with that $35 billion. They want to steal from us. So now Governor Walker in Wisconsin is now trying to introduce reform for how these plants are run. He wants to lessen the criteria for the pollution and the emissions, and he appointed somebody who will carry his agenda, so to speak. And now he's trying to introduce legislation where they're going to, on a no-bid contract, they're going to sell their power plants. Who do you think is going to buy them? The Koch brothers. So the point is, this is really big business going in the back door, complaining about us, poor civil servants, middle class trying to make a living. They're trying to steal from what we got and push us down and create a tremendous gap. It's really, really scary what we're dealing with. And people just need to, I wish everybody just realized what was going on, behind the scenes with these groups and organizations. Here's a good statistic for you. The top 1% is now raking in the bigger share of the national income than since 1928 and paying at a lower tax rate. The right is working hard behind the scenes with all their money trying to have taxes reduced even more for the extremely rich. I'm going to send this to the unions in Wisconsin, so why don't we all give Wisconsin a yeah, that we support. We support Wisconsin. We're here to support Wisconsin today. What's the real issues in Wisconsin? It's not really about the ability to negotiate a contract. We all know Rob Astorino wants to negotiate our health benefits away. Andrew Cuomo wants to negotiate health benefits away. They have a right to talk about, these issues, our health insurance, our salaries. They have a right to do that at collective bargaining. It's our job to sit at the table, negotiate with them, and fight that battle. No one can really argue with their right to say they want what they want, because we can say we want what we want. Governor Christie is doing the same thing in New Jersey. So you can't argue the fact they're coming hard at us, but we got to come hard back at them. But the real issue in Wisconsin has nothing to do with Governor Walker wanting to just negotiate things away. Governor Walker really wants to take away the rights for unions to collective bargain, which is really, really scary. The Assembly just passed something the other day basically that said unions won't have the right to bargain collectively. They won't be able to do union dues deductions from their checks. So they're really trying to break the union. They're trying to take every right that they can away from the unions. It's ground zero in Wisconsin. And the reason I've been involved, I set up a Facebook page. It's called Support the Wisconsin 14. I'm doing whatever I can do. I may fly out there. I've been in touch with their people. If I got to do a fundraiser in New York and fly, we really got to help them out there in any way that we can, because rest assured, if they win that battle out there, if Governor Walker wins his battle out there, it will travel across the country, and before you know it, everybody else will say, hell with it, let's all go after the unions, and we'll be in a lot of trouble. So that's our fight out there. You have to understand, Wisconsin is our fight. And if you read the press every day, you are getting some good comments from the editorial saying the public sector employees should have a right to collective bargaining. So we are getting a little more support, and people have to, the good thing is, people are being asked a question, and they have to take a position. And for us in this area, we want to hear their positions. We want to know where they stand. And for the most part, everybody's saying collective. They should. All unions in public sector should have a right to collectively bargain. So that's the good thing. Now, there's one really last issue I want to talk about, and that's the Tea Party. And if any of you is a member of the Tea Party, bear with me for a minute. All right? Because I don't want to knock the Tea Party. What I want to say to you about the Tea Party is this. The Tea Party, when it was formed 2 years ago by Carl Derringer, I would say it was formed with the thought that they was thinking hundreds of years ago when they had the Boston Tea Party. We're a little pissed with our taxes. We want to take a stance. We're going to go throw some tea bags around. We're going to let the elected officials know. We're going to have our American flags, our patriot hats, and we're going to send a message. We're not going to take it anymore. You know what else? Hey, it's not bad. It's a good thing, right? Everybody liked it and got a little momentum. But what happened is the Tea Party has been hijacked. The Tea Party has been robbed. The Tea Party is now owned by guys like the Koch brothers from Texas. When there's a demonstration, they go out and they rent 20 buses, they put people on them, they give them American flags, they give them patriot hats, they send them out They send them out like sheep, carry on their messages, and unfortunately, they're not getting it. They don't realize they're being used by these billionaires to carry a message that's really going to undermine them and hurt them. Here's what Carl Denninger said, the original founder of the Tea Party. He said, the Tea Party has been hijacked by big business and right-wing conservative groups who use it as a political tool to further their personal agenda. That's a story, and he's no longer involved with it. You could look him up on the Google him, and you could look at his 10-minute speeches. But so that's what's going on. This is really a battle of big business pushing these elected officials who they contribute a lot of money to carry their agenda, and they're all saying, go after the public sector employees. So this is a lot bigger battle than we all think it is, and we gotta try to educate the people the best we can. And Wisconsin is a very tough situation. You know, I've been talking to them every day, every 2 days. Nothing's really changed out there. The 14 are out of state. It's really about collective bargaining rights and the union's ability to stay alive and have a union. It's really not about negotiating the terms of their contract. And that's what most people don't get. If you want to go to my Facebook site, I got a lot of good stuff on there. It's a simple thing. It says the Wisconsin 14 or support the Wisconsin 14. And I'm putting different information up there every day. And my email is on there. If you want to contact me, by all means, you can do it. If anybody has any questions, by all means, I'll try to answer them.
Thank you very much.
All right.